boy, I told you how I'm feeling. You keep asking me what's wrong, I explain that shit real descriptive. You know the issue, just admit it. See you tried, but no you didn't. I can lie about my feelings, just forget it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, it's gonna be a video about my Brazilian wax routine. Honestly, it's kind of like all waxing, but I'm gonna mainly be focusing on the Brazilian area. So yeah, I'm gonna just go into really good detail for you guys about how I wax, the materials I use, what techniques I use, and how I just get a really good Brazilian wax at home. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there before we start. I am not an esthetician, okay? I'm not a licensed professional. I don't think you need to be to wax at home. I feel like everybody could do it. If I could do it, y'all could definitely do it. I'm such a freaking sissy when it comes to pain. Like, I have the lowest pain tolerance ever, I feel like. So if I could wax my coochie by myself at my own house, trust me when I say any of y'all out there could do it too. It's a little intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it and once you consistently doing it yourself, it's so easy. And honestly, I feel like the pain does get easier as time goes by. First, I want to go over all the tools that I use to wax myself. Most definitely you want to get a pre-wax spray and an after wax spray. Obviously, it's in a name, but I also got a couple of other serums. It's not super necessary, but if it's your first time and you have sensitive skin, I would definitely recommend this. Or if you're like prone to bumps or like ingrowns, then I would definitely recommend this as well. What I have here is a post-wax cooling gel. So, you know, sometimes after a wax, it could be really tender down there. This has aloe vera in it, cucumber, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's just another type of like after wax type of treatment. But why I do like this a little bit more is because it does have a cooling effect because it has menthol in it. Also, like I said, if you're prone to ingrowns or bumps or things like that, I don't have it with me. I thought this was the one, but you could get like an ingrown hair serum. So after you finish waxing, you put that on and it'll help minimize the chances of you getting ingrowns after you wax. So I would definitely get like an ingrown serum or something like that if that's something that you struggle with. You definitely want to do some type of after wax care. Obviously, you need some wax to wax. This is the brand that I use. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pronounce it right, but it's called Serapil. I find that this brand is like the best. I've tried so many different waxes, but I do feel like this is the best wax that I've used, and this has such great reviews. It is kind of expensive. For this bag, I think I paid like $40. Get yours on Amazon. How much comes in here? I don't know, but I feel like it's not that much for $45. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other affordable good options, but for sure you definitely want to make sure that you are using a good quality wax. Please, 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 like that's the main thing. I use super cheap waxes that left my skin like so irritated and just bad. It was painful, like, and the type of wax you use does make a difference in how painful it's gonna be. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you are not using some cheap wax. Like, you get what you pay for. So definitely I would say it is worth it to invest in a good wax for your skin, okay? And this is your private area. You want to make sure that you are using the best of the best. So you also are gonna need some popsicle sticks. I got these from Walmart. Usually I get them off Amazon sometimes. You go to Michael's, Joann's, like any type of craft store, or they have it on Amazon like I said. But you want to get jumbo wooden popsicle sticks. This is to apply your wax. And obviously if you're waxing another part of your body, like your face or anywhere else, you can get like the appropriate size popsicle sticks. They have the really small ones, skinny ones. But yeah, for down here, use jumbo so you could cover as much surface area as possible. Super cheap, super inexpensive, but yeah, definitely need some popsicle sticks. And last but not least, you obviously need a wax pot. This is the one that I use. It was a little dirty because she gets used a lot. This is the Trust Wellness wax pot. I got this off Amazon like 3 years ago. This was like $50 I think, but it came with like a whole kit. It came with like 5 packs of wax, popsicle sticks, the pre-wax spray, after wax spray. So for $50 for everything that you need, I feel like it's super good. And by the way, I will link everything down below for you guys if you're interested in getting anything. I will link down all the products that you see and where I got everything from in the description box. Those are the tools that you need to wax at home. Also, one thing that I don't have that I would recommend if you are somebody who sweats or gets like really sweaty, you want to get some baby powder. So after you do the pre-wax care and you clean the area, you want to sprinkle a little bit of baby powder, and that's just going to help the wax adhere better to your skin and grip them hairs. It's not necessary, but like I said, if you're a person who tends to sweat, I would recommend it. Now that we know what we need to do our Brazilian wax, we're gonna go to the next step, which is before you start waxing, it's all about the prep, okay? You wanna prep your skin really, really good. You can't just go in for it without no previous prep. So let me break it down for you guys. You want to exfoliate your skin the night before your wax. Exfoliate the area with like a body scrub or like a rag or just any type of exfoliation. Another thing, you want to make sure that your hair is at the correct length. Sorry if y'all hear the train. If it's too long, it's going to be very painful, and if it's too short, you're just not going to get an even wax, and your wax is probably not going to adhere to your hair that well, so I'm able to grip onto it if it's too short. You want to make sure it's at the perfect length, and for a reference, they say that your hair should be at least as long as a grain of rice. So if you picture a grain of rice, that's how long your hair should be at least. And if it's too long, like if you feel like it needs to be trimmed, then trim it up a little bit. Alright, so after you do all that, then of course you want to apply your pre-wax spray, like I said, and most pre-wax sprays are just like alcohol based, so it just helps really clean the skin and make sure there's no dirt, no oils on it, so that your wax can grip on really good. Next is melting the wax. I would say for the Brazilian area, you're gonna need a lot more than you think. I made the mistake last time where I melted some wax and I was like halfway through and I ran out of wax, and then I had to re-melt a whole nother batch of wax, and I was just sitting there for like ever waiting for my new batch to melt with like half of my Gucci wax. Like, yeah, don't do that. Make sure that you got all your wax melted so that you don't end up in that dilemma. You're gonna use more wax than you think, so fill it all the way up, turn the heat all the way to high, and let it completely melt. And then when it's completely melted, no lumps, no bumps, you want to turn the heat back down, because if you leave it on high heat the whole entire time, you're gonna burn yourself. That's way too hot, so you need to turn it back down to like a medium temperature. And with this specific wax spot, I put it all the way up, which I think is like 257, and then I turn it back down to like 140, and I find that that's like the perfect temperature to keep it at the entire time, to keep it warm and melted but also not too hot. You'll know your wax is ready when it's at a honey consistency. The temperature of your wax is very, very important, because like I said, if it's too hot, you're going to burn yourself. It happened to me, and you don't know until it's too late, because like once you apply it, that's it. Like, you can't take it off. So once you apply hot wax, like you can't do nothing but sit there and be in pain. Definitely test the temperature of your wax, and how I like to do it is I like to take a little bit of wax, test it on the inside of my wrist, because it's really sensitive right here, so you're gonna feel the right temperature on your wrist. You know, like they test babies' bottles and all that? Yeah, you do it on the inside of your wrist, and if it's burning you on your inside of the wrist, it's gonna definitely burn you down here. Next is actually applying the wax. You always want to apply with the hair growth and remove in the opposite direction. When you're applying the wax with the popsicle stick, you want to put lots and lots of pressure down. Don't be afraid, push down, make sure that that wax is getting down into the hairs and adhering properly, so that when you pull it up, you get as clean of a strip as possible. Another little tip that I feel like is very helpful is when you're applying the wax, you make a little lip at the end, so that when you go to pull up your wax strip, you have something to like grip onto. That makes it so much easier to remove your strip. Tip number 2, remove your wax strip quickly, okay? Do not sit there and slowly pull it little by little, inch by inch, because you're just making yourself be more pain. Like, girl, just rip it off. It's way better to just do it that way. I know it hurts, but it's gonna hurt more if you prolong it. And then after you remove your strip, you could go ahead and apply a little bit of pressure. Lay your hand on the spot. That does help relieve some of the pain. I don't know why, but it does. Once you get down to like the lip area, you want to make sure that you're holding your skin taut. Try to get the area as flat as possible. Another thing is to not let your wax sit for too short or too long. Once you apply your wax, you obviously want to give it some time to harden up, because if you try to pull it while it's still warm, it's going to be sticky. It's going to like half pull it up, half not, because the wax isn't ready. And then if you leave it on for too long, your wax over hardens and it could crack when you go to take it off, which that causes more pain as well. Yeah, just knowing that sweet spot of when to pull it up is definitely very important. My other tip is to just breathe. I feel like waxing is just like a mental block because we know we're literally like intentionally inflicting pain upon ourselves. It's like your mind wants you to not do that, so that's why you hesitate to pull it. Just definitely just try to breathe, just try to get your mind right, just don't even think about it, just getting over that mental block of like, okay, I know it's gonna be painful, but I just gotta do it. So after you lay your strips and all that and everything is taken off, you're most likely gonna have to do cleanup strips. And with cleanup strips, you want to apply, only for cleanup strips, you apply wax in the opposite direction. That's gonna help get up all the little stragglies left behind. You most likely will have to do cleanup strips. I have to do cleanup strips like almost all the time because the first pass, you know, it grabbed as much as it did, and there's always gonna be a couple hairs that just didn't get up the first time. There is a technique to actually waxing down there. You don't want to just go crazy and just put it in all types of directions. You typically want to work from the outside in. There is a lot of videos on YouTube. That's how I learned. I will actually link down the video that helped me with my placement of waxing, because I remember my first time I just kind of went for it and like I just didn't even know what I was doing, and yeah, that's just not good. So having a visual guide of where to place your wax and how to tackle that area definitely helps. Another thing is don't do huge strips, especially for your first time. You want to pace yourself. You want to do a good medium size. So don't make your strips too small and definitely don't make them too big. Gonna be in that nice medium range. Also use a mirror, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Use a mirror so you can see what you're doing. The first time that I waxed, I did not use a mirror. I was literally like in my bathroom, like not even seeing exactly what I'm doing. Like I'm just going for it. What I do, I actually sit in front of a full body size mirror. I lay a towel down on the floor and I can literally see every single thing. Every inch of me I could see. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you get a good mirror. I would recommend a full body mirror just because you don't have to hold it. It's just there. You can see literally everything perfectly. But if you don't have a full body mirror, that's okay. You can also use a handheld mirror. Now for aftercare, I already showed you guys the after wax sprays and all the serums that you could get. Your skin just went through trauma by getting the hair ripped out of its follicle. You definitely want to make sure you're doing a good aftercare by using serums, oils, all that good stuff. You definitely want to put something on there. I would even recommend like raw aloe vera is super good, or raw coconut oil. Anything to just get moisture back into your skin and soothe the area. After your wax, you want to make sure that you are not wearing anything tight. Wear loose clothing. You don't want to irritate the area like more than it already is. I would say not even to wear panties. I try to not wear panties for like the whole day after my wax. Just let the area breathe and not be restricted after going through all of that. Definitely don't have sex, okay? If you go get a wax like from European Wax Center or anywhere, they're gonna tell you the same thing. Do not have sex for 24 hours, okay? I know it's smooth, I know it's looking nice and pretty, but y'all could wait a day. You don't want no freaking germs, bodily fluids, like you literally created micro cuts in your skin. Let it have its time to just relax, calm down after everything that it just went through. Okay, last but not least, I just want to talk about the benefits of waxing. Y'all, there are so many benefits and so many reasons why I would say waxing is just way better than shaving. The list goes on and on, honestly, but I would recommend for you guys to do your own research just so you can really see and just know the benefits yourself. But I prefer waxing for many reasons. When you wax, your hair comes back 10 times slower. Number one, with waxing, your hair is getting pulled from the root, so it's gonna be completely smoother than you can get with shaving. The hair grows back in like 3 to 4 weeks. Like for me personally, it takes like a month for my hair to start growing back. The results last longer. That alone like sells me on waxing. Waxing might be more painful. I feel like that's just the only con. Like honestly, that's the only con. It's more expensive and more painful, but I feel like the pros definitely outweigh those couple of cons. Like it's just so much better, y'all. Like I could sit here forever and just brag about how much better waxing is. If you ever gotten a Brazilian wax, then you would know what I'm saying. Like it's definitely worth it. It's worth the pain. It's worth everything. I feel like if you never got a Brazilian wax before, I would definitely recommend it at least once in your life. Waxing is not for everybody, but I feel like for most people it is. Don't be afraid to try it. Pain is temporary. The results are worth it. I would definitely recommend for you all to try it at home using my tips and tricks. Don't just go into it blindly and just go crazy. Make sure that you're doing it the right way. And like I said, if I could do it, y'all could definitely do it, okay? Like that should be very encouraging to you guys, because if you know me, you know I'm a sissy. So when I tell you guys if I could do it, y'all could do it, I mean that with everything in me. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, I will answer them in the comments. In case I left anything out, I'm pretty sure I touched upon everything, but in case I didn't and you have some more questions, I will gladly answer them. So my next video is gonna be me giving myself a Brazilian wax on camera so you guys can actually see me wax myself and see me be in pain, because I'm sure I'm gonna be in pain. If you're waxing consistently, it's not gonna be painful. I even struggle with being consistent though, so I know the next time I'm gonna wax is gonna be pretty painful, because if you take a long break, kind of like throw all your progress away. Like, it's gonna hurt if you're not consistent. So if you guys want to see that video, I will definitely get to filming that. Thank you guys for watching. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in my next video.
Been questioning us, do you really try? But I'm stuck to you like glue, I don't know why. With everything that I survived, I'm just trying to help you understand how much I sacrificed.